Sarah Palin's Sarah PAC has been wildly successful over the course of the past few years in raising money for conservative candidates and causes. But its track record for actually taking that money and then giving it to the candidates that it says it supports has been a little bit shadier. Take a look at some of these numbers. According to OpenSecrets.org, Sarah PAC has dispensed only $45,000 to fellow Republicans running in the midterms, less than 3% of the $1.4 million they had available as of September 30th, the end of the reporting quarter. Bear in mind, there's an election coming up. If she's going to spend the money to support these candidates, now would probably be the time. And as I said, perfectly able to raise the money. Sarah PAC had $978,000 on hand at the beginning of the July 1st to September 30th period and raised an additional over $400,000 during that period. So she's going around there and she's giving her speeches and she's showing up on TV and she's selling her books and she's using it to raise tons of stacks of cash. And she says in these talks that she supports these candidates. She wants to see Republicans take control of the Senate and of the House. But is she doing anything with those stacks of cash to actually make sure that that happens? Not so much. During the third quarter, some more stats. During the third quarter, Sarah PAC made contributions of $5,000 to 9 GOP candidates. So that was how it was actually broken up. So at least she's equal in terms of how she supports them. Now, what did they actually spend the money on, since they're clearly not spending it on actually supporting conservative candidates? Sarah PAC paid HarperCollins, the publisher of all 3 of her books, over $10,000 for books for donor fulfillment, which basically means that she buys her own book and then gives it away for people who donate money to Sarah PAC, which is a great way of giving money to her and making it seem that her books are more popular. And they had an additional disbursement of $13,000 for lodging, SUV rentals, and more books for donors. So I understand you do your travel, you have to pay for things like that, but she's spending almost as much on books and SUVs as she is on actual campaign contributions, which is effectively what PACs are supposed to be for in 2014. And by the way, so she does all these endorsements. She goes out and says, I support this candidate, I support his message, you should vote for him. And she is supposed to be like this queen and king maker of the Republican Party. Like, she's so in touch with what the everyday Republican in the country wants. But only 4 of the 15 candidates she endorsed won their primaries. So at this point, should we feel a little bit bad for the people who donate to Sarah PAC? I know it's money wasted, ha ha ha, joke's on them. But these are people that are actually interested in politics, want something to be done, and they get all fired up after hearing Sarah Palin give her speech, and they think, this is the person who supports my ideology. Here's the money, go, take this, and make the country into what I think it should be. Like segregated 1920s America, or whatever, however you want to portray it. And then it just gets spent on books and on SUVs. And that's kind of sad. When you think about what they could have spent the money on, they could have given it directly to a single issue sort of advocacy organization. Like if they're anti-choice, they could have given for that. They could have donated directly to candidates that they are actually in favor of, or something like protecting the environment or saving the whales. I know these are not the sorts of things you expect Republicans to donate towards, but you could have spent on almost anything. Spend it on a large screen TV to watch the debates in higher resolution. That would be a better use of your money than wasting it on Sarah Palin. What is the point of Sarah Palin today? All she can do, all that I think even Republicans would say she can do, is that she generates support and enthusiasm. She's not actually going to get into office. She's not actually going to push for legislation, but she gets people fired up. But if she gets them fired up, to then just give her the money so that she can waste it or she can hoard it for some useless, pointless 2016 presidential run of her own, what is the point of that? And I'm not even asking the liberals right now because we're just going to laugh at them for wasting their money, but Republicans and moderates, people who are actually fans of Sarah Palin, if you're watching this, why would you donate a single dollar to Sarah Palin after showing that she's not going to spend it on what she says she is? And by the way, this is just an update to a story that we've been covering for years now. This is years on years of Sarah PAC not actually donating the money to candidates. Look, the PAC system is broken, and I don't want more money going to candidates. I want all of the money out of politics. But right now, it's in there. And she's going out there and saying, give me your money, and then she's just blowing it. She is playing a huge joke, but this time the joke is not on me and on other liberals. It's on you, you poor, sad sack Republicans.